Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Juna. I really don't post on here much, but I want to start posting more consistently. But a video that I really wanted to make was just about like my whole fitness journey, my weight loss journey, how I recomposed 20 pounds and moved it to different places, and just everything like that. So first thing, I guess I'd start with like a background about me. I've always been super active. I started competitive jump rope when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I didn't stop until I was about 16, 17. I immediately went into swimming and I was a lifeguard. When it came to college, of me deciding what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be, I had no clue until my brother told me about exercise science and kinesiology, which is what I'm studying now. So that kind of started my fitness journey, because after jump rope, I stopped for a little bit, then COVID hit, and my body just completely changed in a way that I didn't expect. I took my measurements before and I took my measurements after, and not only did my body change in a way that I didn't like, I was putting on weight and I didn't know. Because here's one thing that I will always say: one, your genetics play a big role. Like, number one, genetics will play always a big role. My weight, I had never passed this number. I got well past 120 and I was super upset. I didn't know what to do and started doing at-home workouts, and I actually wrote them down in my notes list. I still have them on my iPad, and I would do them every single day. I started to watch a little bit more about what I ate, which, like, don't get me wrong, it did to a certain extent. I lost 20 pounds. So it came time to college and I was still about 120. I was a very just like lean person. I didn't have any muscle on my body. I was just very lean. And at that point, I was like, I want to grow my glutes. I was on an unintentional deficit. I was probably on a good day consuming 1,700 calories, but it wasn't because I was like intentionally doing it. I just genuinely wasn't hungry, and we were on the go all the time. And I started my job at football and I started getting super lean. I didn't really see a decrease in muscle, but I will say it is really genetics. Still, I recomposed my body, and right now I'm about the same weight that I was when I first started my journey, when I was looking at my body saying, what am I doing? So now the question is like, what are some tips for you? I don't want you to compare yourself to me and think that everything that I did is what you should do, but I'm gonna give you recommendations. One of the main questions is like, first of all, how do we lose the weight? I want you guys to know this. Muscle weighs a lot. Let me just say, tracking the scale and looking at the scale is not gonna help you. A lot of the times I see the number go up and I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? I track my progress with pictures and maybe measurements. If you guys wanna do that, that's something that I did at first. If you start putting on more muscle, you're gonna have less fat and more muscle, but muscle weighs more than fat. If you want big glutes, big legs, a strong back, biceps, whatever you want, to be able to put on muscle, you have to be able to put on weight. One of the main things that I focused on was one, consistency. You have to be consistent. There's no such thing as I'm gonna work out today and then maybe next week a little bit. If you're doing heavy lifting, your body needs rest. You should not be working out every single day. 7 days a week is way too much if you're heavy lifting, because your body needs time to rest. For your muscle fibers to be able to recover, you need to relax. Whether you have an active rest day and you go on a walk, or you're just doing errands around the house, that is still better than going to the gym 7 days a week. I genuinely don't recommend it, because at the end of the day, your body needs some time and you're gonna burn yourself out, or you're so sore if you're lifting that heavy that your muscle fibers won't be able to recover. Stretching is a big part of your journey. Don't get me wrong. Do I stretch all the time? No. But don't copy me. You should be stretching, because a lot of the time what happens when we work out is our muscle fibers are tearing. You have tiny little micro tears when you're lifting. When you aren't stretching after your workout, your muscle fibers are repairing. You'll develop adhesions a lot of the time, which can turn into knots, which is why a lot of the times if you turn your neck and you feel like something's there, that's a knot, and it's probably because you didn't stretch. Now there's different types of stretching. Obviously, assisted stretching is my favorite way. I am a stretch therapist and I do assisted stretching, but for your own sake, dynamic stretching at the beginning of your workout. So what is that? Hip openers, 90-90s, leg swings, all dynamic movement. That means you're moving the entire time that you're stretching your body. This is awakening also the blood flow to that part of the body that you're lifting. So then those of you who want a pump but don't want to take pump supplements, but you want to see a pump, stretch. Static stretching is what we do at the end of our workout. That's kind of holding our arm in pose. That is a static stretch. It's just helping relax our muscles. We're able to stretch them. Your body is your temple. If you do not take care of it, it will not be able to perform for you. Diet plays a big role in your fitness journey. You want to also fuel your body. Your body, at the end of the day, if it helps you to think about it as a machine, your body's a machine. To be able to feed the machine properly, for it to work properly, you have to give it proper nutrients. So that means breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you're eating snacks, great. Make sure that it's nutritious enough for you that you're able to function and feel good. I'm not a certified nutritionist. I am a certified personal trainer and a certified stretch therapist. Nutrition for me, I take it from what I learn in class and what I learn in school. Again, I'm an exercise physiology major, but I'm not a professional when it comes to nutrition. But my breakfast is along the lines of a bagel with avocado, egg, and bacon. I eat usually grapes on the side with coffee or whatever the case. If not that, you can have protein pancakes. I usually have turkey bacon just because it's a little bit better for you. I also have protein shakes and protein smoothies, so usually you can put strawberries, raspberries, whatever fruits you like. I use Fairlife protein milk to add in more protein, which is the next point that I'm going to get at, protein powder. And you can use code JUNA on OneSoul for any protein needs. Protein is important. If you want to put on muscle, you have to eat protein. The way to think about it, easiest way to think about it, is if you weigh 115 pounds, you want to try to have around approximately 115 grams of protein per day. It sounds very scary, but I promise you, if you just think about certain meals, my breakfast I literally have a bagel, spread avocado, I cut pieces of turkey bacon in half, 3 pieces of turkey bacon and an egg, and I have 2 of those. That's 40 grams of protein right there. Think about it like that. A scoop of protein, if you get a protein shake, is already 30 grams, plus Fairlife protein milk, which is another like 12, 13 grams of protein. My protein shake is probably going to be about 40 grams of protein. You're already at 80 grams and you only had breakfast and a protein shake. Okay, now the big question is, how am I burning fat without taking away muscle? How am I able to put on lean mass? That's a question that I've gotten since I started my fitness account, was how are you so lean and able to put on muscle? One, I will preface this, my genetics have allowed me to do so, but it is also the way that I'm structuring my workouts. I focus on progressive overload all the time. My workouts aren't necessarily all hypertrophy based. Upper body, I focus more on strength just because I don't want to build so much on my upper body. Lower body is mainly hypertrophy based and training until failure. I'm going to try to explain this in the easiest way possible. This is the way that I picture it a lot of the time. You have 3 energy sources. Okay. First one is your ATP-PC. This is your creatine storage. If you are taking excess creatine, you'll realize you're able to lift a little bit longer or more than you could, because creatine is a source of energy for your body. Creatine allows you to push harder to be able to grow muscle. So this is your first store of energy, which is creatine. This burns out fairly quickly in your workout. So think about it as you're hitting a leg day and you just burn through your creatine, but you're only through your first workout, second workout. This is your carb store. Your carbs, your glucose. This is what gives us energy a lot of the time. Our body mainly functions on, your body goes through something called glycolysis, which is basically forming glucose into energy. So you still have 2 left, glucose and fat. Your glucose or carb storage is basically where you're getting your energy from. Now, if I pull that away, is your fat storage. We want to target our fat storage if we want to cut. So if you want to burn fat, your fat storage is where you want to go through. But you have 3 hoops to be able to go through to be able to target fat. I know you see a lot of people debate cardio before or after your workout. I always say after, because I went through my creatine, I went through my glucose, and I went through my fat. So now to be able to do cardio after, I'm going to be pulling from my fat storage. VT1, VT2 talk test is to kind of to gauge how intense a workout is for us to see where we're pulling from. The way to properly gauge to see if you are on the right track, you want a moderate intensity walk. What this means is I want you to focus on steady state cardio intensity, whatever you call it. Which basically is I'm walking on a treadmill for about 20 to 30 minutes. The ideal time is 30 to 60 minutes is where you'll burn a lot more fat and calorie. But when you are doing steady state cardio, which means 12, 3:30, walking, just walking on an incline or walking in general. I walk in general because incline kills my knees. While my heart rate stays at a steady, for example, 140, I am burning more fat. When you're sprinting, you're burning more calories. It's a very big misconception that the faster you run, the more fat you'll burn. No. The more you run, the more calories you'll burn. Steady state cardio, the more fat you'll burn. We want to burn fat if you want to lean out. Now, I know this sounds like a lot, but for those of you who want to cut weight and be able to lean out a little bit, just think 20 minutes to 30 minutes after your workout. Now, training intensity is a really, really big factor into putting on muscle. You don't just stop when you hit 8 reps and you feel like you can go for an extra 6. I always structure the weight that I use to be able to reach almost failure every single time I'm lifting, to be able to put on muscle. That's what progressive overload is. Progressive overload is overloading your muscle, whether it's time under tension, max amount of reps, weight increase, you add a pause. You want your muscle to work in tenfold. You want your muscle to work harder for you to be able to grow muscle. Most importantly, I always say you have to celebrate the small wins in this journey. I celebrated the small win, and yes, it is hard to look at the scale and see that you're not happy with the number that you're at, but you know what? It's okay, because you're gonna get there. The harder you work, the more it'll mean to you. So just remember, always, you're not alone in this. This journey is not just, you're not the only one who is ever on this journey. There are so many people who are also on this journey with you, just to prove to you that you can do this. If I can do it, I'm a full-time student with a full-time job and an online coaching business. I promise you, you can too. If you need that help, I'm always here for you. You can always look up my website. It's just Juna Wakim Fitness. I'm able to structure your meal plan and your workout plan based to your goals to help you meet them. But anyways, I hope if this even helped one person, I would love that. If anyone ever has any questions, you know where to find me. My Instagram is right here. It's just Fit with Juna, and my TikTok is just Juna Wakim. If you need anything, I'm always here for you. Bye.